Close hand, I think we have to mulligan though. Is multiple protection new? It's been around for a few weeks now. Maybe about a month or so. Do you often do league outcomes this early? I've been doing them more often. It's not super, you know, don't have like a standard thing we do. I think I'm gonna mulligan this on the, or keep this on the draw on 6 cards. I really want to go to 5. We have a lot of our engine. We're definitely gonna need the help from our first 3 draws that happened in the first 2 turns. Playing against Mill. This is actually a matchup I have, I think, never played. It's not a matchup I've seen that often lately. I don't know how I feel about it. How many times did you get the relevant in the 17-line deck? I mean, it's relevant in every single game where like both players are top deck, and every single like low resource awkward mulligan game. Most games where you get Blood Mooned. It's just, I don't know. It's relevant. It comes up. Can we do an updated? Is it Through the Breach? I don't know. Is it Through the Breach? Is like, I almost like just, it's so tough to play the deck in a format that has Solitude now, but maybe one day. Okay, build over a Daredevil and a Manufactor for me. So if I can just like rip a black source, I may have a fast win if they don't have Surgical. I'm getting 3 looks at a black source next turn. Kidder with the 18 months, thank you. Yeah, I don't think that it's like, you know, I don't think that Solitude being in the format, you know, makes the deck completely unplayable. But I do think that it makes me a lot less excited about the list, and I also don't think like the list would be like that different from what I've played in the past either. Also, you know, this is like less of a factor for sure, but that deck has never been like that popular to stream either. Like people don't tend to like really engage with it that much. Okay, so I can go Time Sieve, sec my whole board. I think I need to wait. I think I could play the Emry. I might get milled out though. I don't know. Fetch land is 6-12 down to 8-26, and then like toshes me. I might just be dead. But it's really bad if I don't play Emry. Oh no, I can still play Manufactor because I have the treasure token. I can even go Manufactor into Time Sieve if they kill this Manufactor. Okay, we'll pass. Because okay, I know that the meme, haha, how do you win with infinite turns? Against Mill, if you have infinite turns and you have like 6 cards in your library, it's actually a question. Just play Civ, don't activate. Yeah, maybe that's good so I can get use the mana here actually. Yeah. Although I think it's gonna be fine. Oh bro, thank you for the 10 months. Appreciate ya. Oh boy. Alright, only 2 basics, started milled 1. How many archive traps you have? Although they are they're doing this before they mission briefings, so maybe they don't have any. Okay, they put a stop on my draw step. I'm gonna cast this Time Sieve before my opponent just like surgicals it. I have 25 cards in my library. Let's keep the treasures around. 25 cards. It should be like very safe to play this Emry. They have something? They don't have 6th. Maybe they thought they have 6 carried over to this turn. I can't imagine if they had a surgical or anything that they wouldn't have already used it though. Yeah, not infinite turns, like 20 turns here. I'll do my best to not like, you know, naturally draw too many cards, I guess. fine. There we go. Although I guess the connive on this is not a... this is fine, we're gonna win. Opponent's gonna get to... Yeah, I guess I should just play the Daredevil too. Yeah, winning the game is not hard from this point. We still have 19 cards. We got there. Alright, so won my first ever game playing against Mill with this deck. Still not, like, I don't know if this is a bad matchup. I do think I want these Thoughtseizes. Don't want the Shadowspear. I don't think I want the Nihil Spellbomb. I don't think I want the Aether Spellbomb. I don't think I want, like, removal spells for the crabs. I have Asmo. I do think I'm going to play Teferi and just be 62 cards. I think you can usually board up between, like, 1 and 3 cards against Mill. No, you can't always yes to Daredevil because it's a different game object every time you discard it. They run Lancer for Graveyard Hate. I mean, they also play Surgical. They have a lot of different Graveyard Hate. I don't think you want the Needle. We're also, like, I don't think that's weak to Graveyard Hate overall. Like, usually, like, a Lantern is, like, a 1-for-1, which is going to be a 1-for-1 if you Needle anyways. Ending for Crab. Yeah, I don't think you want Ending for Crab in this matchup. You have Asmo to, like, kill crabs, but I don't think that's really the game plan you want to fight. I think the point is that each time you get 9 triggers... Oh, so I should always yes... every time instead of clicking yes 9 times? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah. Hey, Destructo. Yeah, it probably does reduce the clicks. I think that's a good idea. Blue Phoenix in the 5-0 dump. Let's go. Yeah, I like that deck a lot. I've been really impressed by it. Well, my opponent's hand sucks. I kind of feel like I just don't want to let their hand is so bad. I just don't want to let them cantrip, I think. Yeah, I did lose the last prediction, fortunately. Are all the major DreamHack events featuring MTG? To my understanding, they are, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess I should go Saga, Cookbook, discard, Manufactor? I guess I could maybe... I'm just not going to cast the Emry this game. But I may want to just cast the Manufactor next turn instead of unearthing it, but like doing it this way gives me the choice of either line, kind of depending on what the board state looks like. Where the other hand is Glimpse, Mission Briefing, Tasha's Mission Briefing. This card is so bad. What is the purpose of Giganta? You're overthinking it. If you can play a companion, you should, but you also want to... This is mostly to discard to Cookbook when you need a card to discard, which comes up, and you're really happy to have it when it comes up. And it is a good out to Blood Moon, where if your opponent Blood Moons you, you can reach for this card, and then it's going to give you colored mana and a 5/5. And you can also cast it off Springleaf Drum Treasure Token. But, you know, I keep having to say this for some reason. If you can play a companion and it just costs you the 15th sideboard card, you should. There's no conversation beyond that, in my opinion. Okay, they got to stop on my draw step. So I think they're going to Surgical my Cookbooks. Maybe they just have a stop on my draw step. Yeah, okay. Maybe are they just F6? Yeah, they are just F6. Okay, that was kind of a turn. That was weird. I went from thinking I was getting Surgical to them just like being transparently F6'd. Guess I should fetch now too, huh? That's like Crackling Drake and Blurred Fires. I think it's fine. I think it maybe raises the curve too much though, is kind of my issue with it. Where you already have such a good late game and you're like your 4 duration, 4 cruise deck, I don't know that you need a 4-drop. I think it does seem like a really good option though if people start to play more Rest in Peace, but like Rest in Peace is like... It feels almost non-existent to me. Oops, all crabs, huh? love to find a Daredevil. Alright, that's how you play this deck. So go always yes, always yield, and then discard, always yes. But then you have to click yes again. So it saves you a click when you have one here, but you do have to like move your mouse, so it's kind of the same. Should sack a clue, one clue to see if I draw Time Sieve. Okay, not quite that lucky. I feel like this is probably not super representative of how the matchup usually goes. Recipes does exist. Yeah, I know that it's in the format. When I say it doesn't exist, I mean that I can't remember the last time I've seen anybody cast the card in the format. GG. Okay. Feels good to beat Mel. First time playing the matchup. At least we know it's winnable. Okay, I usually keep this hand, and this is a pretty good version of this hand. But I usually keep Cookbook, Land, Manufactor, Unearth, other cards, where you get to go Cookbook turn 1, end of turn, discard Manufactor, untap, Unearth, and then you can start making mana with your Cookbook. And we even have 2 Manufactors here. I'm gonna correct this now. No. If I find a Daredevil, I'm still discarding Manufactor, so I won't correct this now. But if I would want to draw Daredevil here, then I would crack immediately. But I don't really care. Oh, sorry, Avian. Yeah, the Manufactor stacks. So you get 1 of each token if you have 1, obviously. Then you get 3 of each token if you have 2, 9 of each if you have 3, and then 27 of each if you have 4, which we have done 1 time. Wow, we drew Daredevil. So sick. I can't believe we just drew Daredevil. It's ridiculous. This is just a nut draw. I feel like I am about to lock this deck in for the Dream Hack. I don't know. The deck's just so sick. I also like this shouldn't really play a factor into my decision making, but I really want to play this deck on paper. It seems really fun. I don't know. I don't want that to factor in too much. Silly fun, but yeah, why would fun factor into like your game choices? They do seem pretty fun though. How do you get 27? You get 27 of each if you have all 4 Manufacturers in play. Isn't that the best reason ever? It's a good reason, yeah. I was mostly teasing. I think players are more likely to succeed if they're enjoying what they're playing. Yeah, I think so. I think it gives you some percentage points to enjoy being there. Yeah, I think that's true. I actually do think you get some percentage points. It's actually probably like provably true, right? Because you are less likely to tilt if you're having fun, if you like your deck, and being more prone to tilt should like give you mathematic percentage points, right? Ooh, need this in. He's black mana, has all blue. I know it's kind of that's a very clinical way of putting it, but I think it makes sense, right? How's this like hammer aggro matchup? On paper looks awful. It's actually like we beat it today. I think that the matchup was kind of awkward before we were splashing the white, but the white splash has been a huge blessing for that matchup. Where like, yeah, the Prismatic Endings, Prismatic Ending, Asmo are both really good, but it's also true, like, you can win on turn 3 with this deck. Turn 3 some amount of the time, not that often. Turn 4 a surprising amount of the time. And decks that can just, like, Solitude on turn 4 against Hammer Time that doesn't play any interaction means that if you win the die roll, you're actually, like, usually not that bad against Hammer Time if you just win the die roll. if you have an Asmo is very good against Hammer Time too. So I feel good about the matchup. This seems pretty tight. What's the flex? I'm really happy with where the main deck is. I don't actually feel like there's much room in the main deck. In my opinion, most of the flex spots here come from the sideboard. If I had to, where you have like these that's usually the case with synergistic decks where you don't have a ton of wiggle room in the main deck because your deck is very synergistic and you need it to be a cohesive unit. And then in the sideboard is really where you're going to make most of your like critical deck building decisions. You Dawnbreaker Cleric, kill my Saga, but I do get a token. But they can attack through it. Especially if it seems bad for humans. We lost to it earlier. This Pyre of Heroes Humans deck is very cool and does seem to be very good actually. Or at least it's at least drawing really well. We've lost to it a couple times. Although it does seem like this game we have the upper hand. And the previous game. Probably leaving the Construct back to block. Just kill both Hierarchs here. Don't feel like I need to like really be aggressive here. We're winning the long game. Okay. Not actually that big a problem. Spire just for value. Yeah, then also finds you your hate cards, right? Oh, okay. They just concede. I think I was probably gonna let one of the cookbooks go and keep the construct, but thankfully I didn't have to get through all those triggers, huh? 2 and 0. Yeah, I think I'm going to start to have the philosophy when I have this hand that I don't hold Bauble for Shredder on turn 2. I'll just commit to playing the Emry on turn 2. So that way I can play around Esper Sentinel. That being said, if I did have a Shredder in the hand, I would rather go Shredder Bauble turn 2. I guess, is that more likely? Like, okay, so I have 4 Shredders in my 53 card deck. So I guess that percentage needs to be higher than the percentage of Hammer Time in the metagame, right? But it's not even Hammer Time in the metagame. It's Hammer Time in the metagame and the percentage that they have Sentinel on turn 1. Although it is a disaster here if they play Sentinel, and it's not like a disaster if I draw Shredder. I don't know. It's hard to evaluate the decision. Is this deck playable without Ledger? I mean, you can put it together. You can, like, I think have a, like, you know, more budget-friendly version without Shredder for a little while. And then, you know, eventually, like, you know, work up and get to play the Shredders. Oh, I meant to... I thought I clicked yield till end of turn. I guess we're shocking now. Yeah, it's playable in the sense that the deck does function without the Shredders, but the deck is much, much better with them, and I do recommend getting up there. Okay, so I'm going to, assuming my Emry doesn't die, I'm going to keep this Bauble in play. So next turn I can go target Cookbook with Emry, they'll pop the Relic, but then I will have Bauble Emry going and I'll make them use the Relic. I don't really know what they're doing though. I don't know what deck Plains Relic is. Maybe Blue-White Affinity. That's true. That's true. Other decks also play the card. Good point. So now are they gonna let me Daredevil back? Okay, well I'm gonna discard Daredevil and like try to get them to pop the Relic. Yeah, I think my opponent got like a little... I don't know what word I want to use. I think they probably overthought the Relic a little bit here. Layla, thank you for the Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Do you have a phone that keeps vibrating my desk? I do, yeah. I put it in my hand to mute it, and then I read a text message instead, and then I didn't mute it. Which is something I do so often, it's weird. Like I have a mental block around muting my stupid phone. Like that, thank you for Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Should shock to get back Daredevil if they popped. Shock to get back Daredevil if they popped. I didn't think they were going to pop, but I'm not sure, like... at what point does me shocking in Watery Grave let me respond to the Daredevil? Because I'm discarding the first Daredevil to Cookbook here. How can I instant speed, get Daredevil back? And then if they want to pop the Relic, I'm going to make them do it on their upkeep. Saga? Well, I had already tapped the Saga first, right? Oh, you said shock in, target here. If they pop the Relic, did I make a token, then I get back Daredevil. Yes, that was a better line. That was a better line. I see. It is blue-white affinity, though. Confirmed now. You know, I bet Doomwake has a lot of these cards in paper. Maybe I could borrow from him if they don't come in the mail in time. Although I don't know if he probably won't have Shredders. I think I'm not making a token here. I'm gonna try to bait the Relic with the Bauble. Start off here. Does feel like this is what they were holding it for. Never, ever, ever sacrifice Relic of Progenitus for any reason. There is no reason to ever sacrifice the Relic of Progenitus. So here if they have Metallic Rebuke... Oh, they messed... Oh, I guess they couldn't... they couldn't, like, play around this on Earth. No matter what. Never exile your Relic of Progenitus. What am I missing in paper? I need a full list. I don't know. Like it's like a lot of like the food engine cards. Like I owned Asmo but not Cookbook for some reason. I also need to dig up my manufactors. I know I own a playset somewhere. I couldn't find them yesterday. And then I only own one Shredder. That was a gift. And then I also loaned away one of my Thoughtseizes. Or I loaned away two of them, thinking that I only was playing two in the sideboard, but I forgot I was playing three in this version. So I guess I need a Thoughtseize now. Could probably get one from Doom or somebody. But they wouldn't match because I have the old border Time Spiral ones. I don't know. Them not matching would be pretty painful. I care way more about that kind of stuff in paper than I do on Magic Online. Alright, we win. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to get the cards. I'll be able to get the cards. Don't worry about it, guys. You know, I'm local to the area. I used to be a paper grinder here back in the day, so... I know people in the area that can help me out. I got connections. Okay, so we are up a game against Blue-White Affinity. Definitely a Prismatic Ending matchup, so we can answer opposing needles. I might want my own needle. I don't think these games come down to Shadowspear that often. I'm actually trying to think, like, how often do I even Shadowspear people? Should we cut the Shadowspear? Because, like, against Burn, you just have cookbooks. I feel like it doesn't happen that often against Hammer Time. I feel like it happens like most often against Murktide, that you want to like race a Murktide with the Shadowspear. We'll figure that out later, I guess. I'll just move it to the sideboard for now. Cut the Aether Spellbomb. 4th Time Sieve. 2 on Earth. Why isn't Force played at all on Murktide? Well, there's not like that many like all-in combo decks these days that you like really need Force for. And then like the card disadvantage is rough, and you have access to like Spell Pierce and Counterspell. Archmage's Charm is kind of better positioned counterspells. Corrupt us for the 15 months, appreciate you. Yeah, the main deck Needles may be good. It would really improve the Yawgmoth matchup specifically. Spear Giving Trample is important. It is like somewhat important, but I was saying this earlier too. Like I don't know the last time that I won a game with that I won a game with Urza Saga token beatdowns. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen that often. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I want to leave an Aether Spellbomb. I did want to cut the Nihil, but I wanted to leave an Aether Spellbomb. Is Blood Fountain too bad? It ain't too good. Ain't too good, I think. Yeah, you could main deck a Needle. Main deck Needle will be fine. Quad Sagas. Mulligan. I also don't think I would sideboard the Shadowspear either, because we have a really good burn matchup as a cookbook deck. Like we don't need extra game against burn. I currently am siding out the Shadowspear against I'm currently siding out the Shadowspear against Hammer Time. This hand's very close. I think I have to put back the Shredder. Good to have ending against the turn 1 drum this game. So they can't go like 0 drop, make it Saga token next turn. Although maybe we'll need to save the ending for Pithing Needle on Cookbook. Although maybe they'll need to like Time Sieve if I play at Civ here. Gotta have Spear versus Boggles. I mean, I'll just take the Infinite Turn against Boggles. Or at least that'll be my plan. Okay, good draw, good draw. I'm kind of just thinking out loud, but like Shadowspear feels like my least tutored card. I do think that it is a card I like to have against specifically Murktide. Where like a lot of times like they have an 8/8 Murktide and you're only like your way to beat it is game 1 where your Saga tokens are better game 1 because they don't have as many answers to Saga, they don't have Dress Down. You make a big Saga token and you put a Shadowspear on it to race Murktide. That actually happens a lot. So I don't know that it's better to like make the Yawgmoth matchup better and the Murktide matchup worse by like going Needle main deck, no Shadowspear. But outside of that situation, I don't really feel like the card's that relevant. Okay, let's play the Manufacturer this turn, I guess. Burn matchup gets worse. It gets worse, but it's still your best matchup even without Shadowspear. Even without Shadowspear, you're just an Underworld Cookbook deck. Like, the burn matchup has still got to be the best matchup. And like, as a Saga target, you just get Cookbook instead of Shadowspear. It should be fine. Alright, construct into something. Maybe Portable Hole. Dispatch. Well, that's worse. Hope we can hit a... Oh, well... Yeah, I guess I'm not making a token. I'm just kind of hoping to hit a Daredevil. We did hit a Daredevil. That's really nice. And a Manufactor. So I'm going to save my Prismatic Ending for my opponent's Pithing Needle. I don't really care about their dumb Saga tokens. Is it mainly for Murktide? Maybe 2 Nihil? I think that's like a Nihil Spellbomb main's not very good. I'll keep thinking about it. I'll probably sleep on it a little bit. I think that I like the Shadows. Like one thing is like second Nihil doesn't help you against resolved Murktide Regent, which is obviously really relevant when you're talking about Urza Saga targets, because usually Murktide comes down before you get your Saga target, and so like having that Shadowspear against Murktide is really nice. It's probably fine to just leave the Shadowspear in the main and then just like sideboard it out a lot, but I think I need to think more about it. They didn't get a Needle. What's their interaction here? Cage, okay. I have ending, take 6, should be good to go here. I'm just gonna float a mana. Yeah, I also just like I don't make that many constructs with this deck. Which obviously makes the Spear worse. Okay, GG. But I'm not quite packing it in yet, I guess, but we will find a way to win infinite turns. Okay, 3-0. Oh, I don't know. You get March Asmo for 0 mana 2, I guess. I feel like I'm just like one thing with this deck is it has so much like advantage, its curve is so low, it has so much like ability to grind and explode out of nowhere. Like you can beat a lot of 1-for-1s too. Street Wraith in their upkeep, so see if this is living it or... Ooh. An opposing Asmo deck. Don't know what the flavor is, though. So we draw. Land 5 is not great. But at least I get to shuffle away land 6. I would probably beat Soul Sisters. Yeah, it could be the Hollowvine deck. Good point, yeah. I like that deck a lot. Although, I did lose to the food deck last time I played with the Hollowvine, right? Or maybe I'm confusing that for... maybe I'm confusing that for our challenge match with Phoenix. Yeah, good read on the deck, I think. Thank you, Chidge. What's your VOD? I'm Black and Rock, so I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I think it's pretty well positioned. I like the hearses in the main deck a little bit. I'm not sure if I want... I think I may just want to play 1, but 2 also felt fine. We 5-0'd with it yesterday, too. What about Abora over Minamo? Minamo's way better. Yeah, I would play like Dark Shores over like Oboro. Like, I obviously like being able to like pick it up and discard is kind of cute, but I think that'd be less relevant than like a good mana fixing card. And I've won many games being able to untap Emry. It's really relevant when it's relevant. It is incredible. All right, discards Vengevine. We draw an Asmo, which is definitely the best draw, but we discard our Manufactor, and we don't really pick up too much other gas, which is bad. But yeah, so far it looks like my list. I've been really liking this Hollow Shredder deck. I think I'm recording my Channel Fireball video for this week. This week I'm doing Hollow Shredder and then the Shredder Phoenix list for Channel Fireball as the guides, and then I think I'm doing my video with this list because it's probably more fun for the video. And maybe I'll do a video with the Phoenix deck next week. Okay, so I need to make sure I kill this before I cast my cookbook to deny the connive. Then I think I get my basic island. We can actually channel Otawara for just 2 mana next turn if both my creatures live, which they should in this matchup. Yeah, thankfully their inquiry wasn't much scarier. Like when they connived away the Vengevine, I was like, oh no, they're just gonna cast Root Wall, a Hollow One, kill me. But they also discarded their Hollow One. Once again, I think I'm unlikely to make a Saga token. I just want to like cast Manufactor. Oh, thanks for the Time Sieve. Thanks for the win. Appreciate you, opponent. Yeah, this matchup seems pretty good for the food side. I forgot to kill the Shredder first. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so expect my opponent to concede to the Time Sieve. Cool. This card is just 2 mana to win the game. Okay, so we're on the draw against the Hollow Shredder deck. I guess I'll bring in the Lantern, although I feel like you'll probably be surprised by how this card is just kind of medium against them. Bone Shards, good answer to Hollow One. I definitely want to keep in on Earth against the Wheel deck. This is a matchup for Shadowspear. I think I'm gonna trim Emry, trim Time Sieve, trim Manufactor, trim Drum. Why doesn't Otawara just say non-land permanent? Bounces artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. This may be intentional so that it can bounce Urza Saga. Yeah, I think it's likely just so like this can bounce Urza Saga and like, you know, artifact lands too. Yeah, that's probably why it's templated that way. With that in mind. Oh yeah, it also hits creature lands too while they're animated. It's pretty relevant. I can keep this. Yeah, Dryad Arbor, anyone? Put most of 6 on the play. Okay, I guess we're discarding Emry to Bone Shards. It's one of the few decks that does play Leyline. I guess I should have remembered that they play Leyline and brought it into Fairy. But I could also just kind of ignore it, I think. Okay, so this turn, let's just bauble ourselves for some selection. Another bauble on top. I think I will just shuffle away. I do feel like Leyline / Rest in Peace are not that hard to beat for this deck. They can be somewhat annoying though. I'm hoping that my opponent plays something good for me to Bone Shards so I can be happy about going for Asmo this turn, but okay, there's a Root Walla. So no Vengevine in their hand, 1 card discarded. Okay, or 2 cards discarded. That certainly qualifies. So cast this, discard Emry. Yeah, definitely gonna be a lower power level game. Maybe some hard cast Ovalchase Daredevils. Why not discard Daredevil? Daredevil as a 4 mana 4/2 is better than a 1 mana 0/3, I think. Sorry, 1 mana 1/2. Oh, yeah, I missed the Leyline. I see. Okay, Neonate, still 1 land, seems. Okay. Get in with the Asmo. Yeah, also stops Madness. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll bring in the Teferis for game 3 if there is one. Kind of feel like we're doing okay, though. Grand Boys, welcome to the Grand Boys. Hey, guys. But maybe gonna pump, no pump. Yeah, I know we can untap Asmo for Vigilance. Put in discard's Vengevine, which I'm pretty happy that they're doing this into my Spellbomb. Their own Asmo, so I'm probably gonna try to have to kill this somewhat aggressively before they can kill mine. Yeah. I think I'm gonna sack my Spellbomb here, so I have a better info when I'm discarding. Oh, right, the Leyline. Dang it. I forgot that Leyline beats Spellbomb. Okay, that was a mistake. Okay, let's discard Bauble, kill Asmo, cast Daredevil. High resource game, huh? Wolf Skull with the 2-pack, appreciate ya. And a deck tech. I think about 3 Prismatic Ending and 1 Fragmentize. I think that Fragmentize doesn't kill Sanctifier, in fact. It does kill Leyline, but like Leyline's just not that relevant. Wow, weird. There was no deck tech. You're actually supposed to link something.
Do you have the white duct tape in here?
No. Your mom put some duct tape on the counter last night.
I'll need the white one because I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, weird. There's just the link's not working. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just steal your money. Second shredder, huh? Conniving. Does get to discard 2 spells, which is very relevant here. Although now I can go. I mean, the Emry's just so useless here. Attack for 3. Kill the shredder. And then I'll play my Spellbomb post-combat, and I'm probably bouncing the shredder, although if they attack me, then I can probably just ignore it. What's your route to leyline? You just play through it in games like this. Like, you can still combo with Manufactor, Double Cookbook. You can just make big Urza Saga tokens. You can cast Shredder, loot away your dead cards. But our out is to Fairy Time Raveler, if we are expecting leyline. But, like, you know, this is like a new brew of mine that my opponent's playing. That is like one, like they're like the decks that I can think of that play leyline in the Void of Modern are like this deck, this Hollow One deck, Goblins, and like maybe Dredge question mark. It's just like not a card I think you need to sweat very much. Yeah, Otawara also can bounce it. That's a good point. Good draw, good draw. So yeah, sometimes living in, but not that often living in either. It is more common endurance. So you can gain 3 life by discarding Street Wraith. I think that checks out. And a Shredder mystery card. Play Shredder. Do they have the ability to connive? They do off of a Root Walla. Very good turn for my opponent. Even better for them if they hit a spell off the Shredder to make this a 2/4 that can block effectively. Not only a spell, but they hit another Root Walla. Beautiful. You love to see it. Yes, 1 petty theft, please, and thank you. Well, I guess I'll cast my own. Theirs is a bit better than mine, of course, here. Not worth it to play Cookbook to not be priced and triggering Shredder. I think I just wanted to discard the Cookbook, because like the second Cookbook doesn't do that much. It's more about that, I think. Alright, I do still have the Shadowspear in the deck, right? It's not like, it hasn't been discarded to Inquiry or anything. Yeah, it's in there. Alright, this is a matchup for the Shadowspear. 0.1 for Shadowspear. And then, like, one more thing about just, like, you know, keeping the Shadowspear in the deck, too. It's like... I can just take this hit. You can loot it away with Shredder, like, some amount of the time. To diminish the times where it's a bad top deck. Yeah, I didn't set it into Fairies. I forgot that they played Leyline. It's just kind of silly because it looks like they're playing my list. I just kind of forgot. Yeah, I'm going to full send, I think. I think that my opponent's going to second food go up to 7, but still have to chump block here because I can discard. Although right now they're just dead if I click OK and they click OK back, so I'll make them spend the mana first. And now that they've spent the mana, now that they've spent. I don't know what else they can have. I think they would have had to change the list to have any outs here. Oh no, the Ancient Grudge. How did I forget about stupid Ancient Grudge? This is so embarrassing. I played so much of this list last week too. I played so much of this list. How did I forget that I had 4 Ancient Grudges too? I played this deck like non-stop on Saturday and like most of, or some on Friday, like 2 leagues Friday. Looks like they're playing still this list. People always ask, Spike, is it easier to play against your own brews? I guess not, dude. I guess not. Still should be pretty good here. Yeah, definitely a good top deck for them. But thankfully they didn't fetch any green mana this game. That's definitely our saving grace. Like, if they just fetched a Stomping Grounds Steam Vents, we'd probably lose instead of Steam Vents. Unless they randomly have a Lightning Bolt. Or a Fiery Temper. Someone did suggest Fiery Temper for the Halloween deck. Okay, but we advance to not only 4-0, but 4-0, 8-0. Have not lost a single game this league. We ordered the costumes in July. It's a good hand, and it's like late October. We're getting belched. I guess we don't have main deck Needle for Belcher either. It's late October. Our costumes still haven't showed up, and it turns out they were shipping from China, and they didn't arrive until like November. So we had to just buy the shirts instead. We're getting belched. 0.1 to the main deck Needle, I guess. Yeah, I do have the robes now. Although me and Esther are thinking about doing Spy Family for Halloween this year. Okay, so it's Oops All Spells, not Belcher. Which does mean I have this main deck Nihil Spellbomb, but because I lost the die roll, I'm going to lose, I think. Although they're drawing a Vengevine, so it's possible that I can win the game by just gaining 3 life off food. Okay, so they have a Vengevine in their hand. If they have 4 Creeping Chills for 12, plus another 12, that's 24. So let's assume that they also have a Creeping Chill in their hand for like the 1 tier down. It's going to be 21 damage. I guess Shredder or food is the same amount of life, because I can block a Vengevine or gain 3. Which is either like, I take a damage to play the Shredder, but I save 4. So, I only survive if they have a second Shredder or second Creeping Chill in their hand. Or obviously if they just don't have like mana plus payoff, but they probably do. They always do. Yeah, so we know they have a Vengevine. Although they could just discard the Vengevine in their hand. Yeah, they just discard the Vengevine that's in their hand, right? To the Phantasmagorion. So I guess we lose. Yeah, Athena would be Anya. We're going to put the little horns on her. Oh, wait, I will concede, I guess. Oh, someone made a command for this. Someone made a command for the Oops All Spells combo, because we always have people asking. It's very convoluted. It's kind of a pain to type out. If someone wants to... I can't remember what the command was. I think I want to cut all the Shredders. Cut the Aether Spellbomb. Okay, and so... Needle, you name... Salvage Titan, usually. They might have their own ley lines. I'm going to cut the Shadowspear, I think, to... 4th Unearth and play 2 Teferis on the play, and then maybe I play Prismatic Endings to answer Mana Rocks on the draw, but I don't know if that's the best plan. Yeah, Shredder's too slow. It's not really what this matchup is about. Like, Shredder's kind of like a slower, grindy card. It's also going to be beating Graveyard Hate, and maybe they have Graveyard Hate, but just not really what the matchup's about. Yeah, I think probably a bad matchup. I think answering Rocks usually makes it really hard for them to win. Sometimes. I appreciate the insight. I know that, like, very recently we played a game against them where we answered 3 of their rocks and a Goblin Charbelcher and still lost. How does Oopsal Spells actually compete? I feel like any amount of counter magic just stops it. I think that that's, like, you know, just, like, not that true, where they usually play, like, 10 payoffs in their main deck, so, like, you have to have, like... You both have to be putting a pressure on them and having multiple counterspells game 1, which obviously Murktide can do, but doesn't always do. And you are super consistent to just win on turn 3 through like any amount of removal. Not that many decks play counter magic. Is eating food a legitimate win kind of against Oops? No, it's too slow. And they also have the Thassa's Oracle win. So I'm really looking for an Urza Saga or a Graveyard Hate piece in my opening hand. Because usually on the play, Saga is fast enough. Like, I think if we win that die roll, we're probably doing okay. This hand does have our Saga, so we are going to keep. And then I guess I'm putting back second Watery Grave. Yeah, they do play Pact, but they're not going to have it against us. Is there a reason Oops isn't the best, the most played deck in the meta? Well, a lot of players don't love to play this archetype, but it's also true, like, Oops is the kind of deck that is only going to be popular. It is only going to, is only going to put up good numbers when it's not that popular, because it does fold to, like, you know, some amount of hate. Yeah, there are plenty of hate cards that are good against it. And if it has a big target on its head, it is hard for it to succeed, but that doesn't, like, make it not a good deck. Let me see what I'm drawing. Not being able to play Asmo is kind of tough. Okay, so I want to draw that Lantern. I'll play the second Saga though, so I can maybe be making Saga token on probably not next turn, but the turn after. I can also potentially get a Needle for Belcher. They fold to Leyline. They usually play Goblin Charbelcher / like Answers to Leyline. Like, Leyline is not 0 mana to win the game, but it is really good against them. Alright, I put this in the graveyard for Emry. Unfortunately, can't draw a card. We might just be dead here. Pretty good chance to just be dead. We could have hold, unearth, and cycle this turn. We could have, but we also, like, could have drawn something off the unearth to, like, have a better turn this turn. I think we're dead. Yeah. Welp. 3 Creeping Chills, 1, 2, 3 Vengevines. That is enough. Sad anticlimactic ending to what was an awesome league, starting off 4-0, 8-0. Let's do one more with the food deck. I'm feeling really good about it, like, for DreamHack Dallas. Kind of just want to play one more. Spyro, Prismatic Ending, and then hopefully we'll also have time for League of Phoenix today.